We are live in America. We are live tonight. It's time for tea with Adam Askew and the Grand Arbiter. You're gonna have a great time. I like that your song is just fundamentally different than mine. Like mine's like a sort of like opening number, and yours is like a magical moment where we're like turning a guest, like you're turning a pumpkin into a ball gown as we speak.
That's right, Grand Arbiter. I turned empty air into a special guest. Look who we have. This is the power. This is the power of the
we
rainbow.
Sacrificed many a pumpkin to bring you here. It is the Eve Riot. Of course, I'm the Grand Arbiter, and this is, of course,
Madame Askew.
I'm the Grand Arbiter. It's the year of the Dino. Hope you're all excited. My favorite dinosaur is Archaeopteryx because it's proof that dinosaurs had feathers.
We love that. And my dinosaur is the Triceratops because it looks like it was wearing a hat, and I like that.
A fancy hat.
Very fancy hat. And I'm going to probably mispronounce mine. It's the Metadactylus, which is like a tiny flying frog dino. And it's just so cute and charming. And I just happen to think I like cute and charming things.
Yes.
No, those are all reasonable and fair assessments. Excellent job, everyone. We all understand what dinosaurs are about. Mostly being dead. But
and darling, and also good evening, everyone. We have Lady June Squill and TM is here. Hello, everyone. Hello, my darlings. Thank you for joining us for tea tonight. Thanks for being here amongst us in a song of ice and fire, I believe, Grand Arbiter.
Yes, as I mentioned, America is a song of ice and fire. Ice on the East Coast and the South.
Where I am.
Fire on the West Coast, where you came from.
Yes. The world is out of balance, apparently. Maybe I should. Maybe if I go back to California.
And when the world needed you most, you vanished.
Oh, no. I vanished because I can't get out of my parking lot.
I know. You're stuck in the parking lot. But that's okay. You're looking quite beautiful and stunning. Seems like your glam team was able to get in, of course, via helicopter.
Yes. The glam team of myself.
Yes.
Stunning. And also you have your wonderful little companion is here with us, sleeping, so I won't say her name, although I'm very happy she's here amongst us.
Whisper it quietly to the wind.
Yes, she's much happy. She's had the joy of my company since Sunday, when we got snowed in with 9 inches of snow here in Louisville, Kentucky, and ice.
Yes,
9 inches. We got 9 inches.
Ooh,
of snow and ice. And we're supposed to get more today. So
an incredibly friendly 9 inches.
A blue award ribbon 9 inches.
But she's
best in show.
We're unhinged. Welcome everyone. We're unhinged. We're so happy to have Eve here that we cannot stay on script. All we can do is make jokes.
There is no script. You broke this. Remember when we cast it into the fire and then the script was destroyed.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
We're so delighted to have you back, Eve. Eve is probably our most beloved cryptid.
That's true. Yes.
Probably our favorite artist to work with, and probably work with the most. So
the feeling is mutual
because we like them. So
well, I like you too. I happen to be quite fond of you. So when I mentioned I was going to be snowed in this Friday, Madame Askew reached out and said, "Would you mind being a surprise guest?" And I was like, "Well, of course I don't mind. I'd love to be a surprise guest." As I will take any opportunity that I have available to join you on adventures.
Well, and you've been on a lot of adventures yourself this last winter.
Yes.
Was it 3 shows this winter?
4
4 shows in 1 month. That's
1 month. I have basically a show a week.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's so good.
Bananas.
Well, and that's why you were not able to join us, as you have many, many times, for our Hogmanay party. You were off bringing the magic, the wonder of Eve Riot to more people, to more hearts, warming the cockles, as it were.
Yes, I had a New Year's event at one of my regular haunts known as Planet of the Tapes, where we had stand-up, we had live music. The live musician was also very funny. I'll have to see if I can find his name. He was very charming. He had only sad songs, but he was very funny. We had a wonderful slew of comedians, and then another burlesque performer, Nora Dahl, and myself. Each performed a few acts, and it was a real delight. So it was a great way to end 2024 and bring in whatever comes next.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
Dino.
Yeah, Year of the
Year of the Dino. There we go. I do definitely think that a Dino onesie burlesque number should be in my future. So we'll see what happens. It's not currently in the plans, but we'll see.
I'm imagining like it's a Dino medley of dinosaur themed songs.
So the one that I know is what is it, like Walk Like the Dinosaur, which recently had a resurgence in popularity due to it being featured in, I believe, the movie Longlegs last year.
I think so. You could have like the Jurassic Park theme.
Oh yeah, definitely the Jurassic.
Have like a medley of songs. The best
You could do the theme song from The Land That Time Forgot. That was just a drive-by.
Land Before Time.
A quick cameo.
Yes.
Do you mean the Land Before Time? Or
yes,
that's do you know with the tiny dinosaurs where they almost die the whole time? Yes, it's very distressing.
The Land Before Time.
Yes,
that's the Land Before Time, which has, as we discussed in a previous episode, I believe, that it has like 15 sequels.
Right.
Yeah, it has a lot of other movies, but I only remember like the first one.
I know
there was also that like TV show with the family on the raft.
Oh, yeah.
Got lost on the whitewater raft. It was in the 70s or the early 80s.
I think you're thinking about the Land of the Lost.
That's the one. I combined them into a new.
Those are all things. They have the sleep stacks. The sleep stacks.
Yes. Those.
Man,
those.
I'm just
and
like.
Music.
You had an amazing series of shows.
Yes, I had Krampus. So that was a delight. I highly recommend coming to the Krampus celebration if you're in Louisville in December. Lots of great bands, lots of great artists, a costume contest, very delightful. We had Solstice, which was our solstice event, very fun.
And thank you for your sacrifice, because without your efforts for Solstice, we would not have the sun coming up. Well done, you.
Thank you.
I'm just stealing the Grand Arbiter's gag because he's been sucked into the tar pits with the dinosaurs. Are you all right, Grand Arbiter?
Yes. I was giving you a moment together.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We had Dish, which is a new drag and variety show in a different neighborhood called St. Matthews at Never Say Die. And then, the end of the year, New Year's. So this month, not performing. So that way I can work on ideas for February through April.
Well, that's very exciting.
Ooh.
We know that. Oh, hello there. Hello, Ginger Bitters. I'm not sure who that is, but hello.
Hello.
I know who it is. Hello, my darling. Welcome. Thank you for joining us on Twitch, because we're on Twitch and on YouTube right now, and Facebook.
Can you identify this small anime face of that? Can you identify the anime character presented on this small image?
I cannot tell that the Twitch icon is covering most of it.
No, I cannot tell. Who is that, Grand Arbiter?
Well, that is Major Makoto from Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, thank you, Grand Arbiter.
I just know all the anime things.
That's your job. Your job is to know the anime things.
That is my job. My job is anime and redacted.
All right, but quick moment. Your job is anime and redacted. Eve, what is your job? Your job is cryptids.
I don't dream of labor. I don't work.
So I think I would prefer if I didn't have to work, but given the I need structure to my salt mine. So I've learned that going to work 2 days a week and then not going to work and then going to work for 2 days is a hell that is unrelenting.
I'll have to get back to you, Madame, about what my exact job is. I feel like my exact job is like horror movies.
Yes.
And horroring.
Oh,
yeah, no, it's horror and horror, right?
Yeah, horror. Horror.
No, I think for the purpose of this conversation, it's our not jobs, it's our callings, our avocations, our
calling.
métier.
It's our calling.
He's trumpet, if we want to be more polite about it.
I don't even know what yours is, Madame Askew.
Yes. What is yours?
I think Madame Askew's is. You can say it first.
I was going to say, clearly it is le fashion, and also the hoity-toity arts. So
I was going to say books and bitchin', but
books and bitchin' is also an excellent way of describing what I just said, but in a more alliterative fashion.
So we have a great Patreon's Corner this week. I'm pretty excited about it. We will be getting to it, but we do have a few. We have business to discuss.
Housekeeping.
Also, we're just so happy to have Eve here. We had to take the time to talk about Eve.
That's true. So Eve, you have a lovely show with us in March.
Yes, in March, I will be joining you all in shenanigans at Wild Wild West Con.
Yes.
I am excited to see you all in the year of the Dino, as well as some other fun surprises I'm sure we'll get up to. And of course, I will be performing in the Burlesque and Drag Show produced by Freddie Prinze Charming. So
Friday night.
Have you finalized your personal set list?
Nope.
Great. I love that.
I have no idea. It'll be a new number. I think I know what costume I want to pull out.
Ooh.
Although it does bring up a question of that I'll have to ask Madame Askew about, since she might have to help me repack things before I can get home because of vacuum bags. It would be probably the biggest costume I'd bring. So we'll see.
Oh, I'm very happy to help, however, that I'm absolutely here for it.
We can also ship some stuff.
That is true. We can always ship. But we'll see what ends up. I have a potential playlist I go through quite often. There are some ones that I have flagged for March. What are you excited about for Wild Wild West Con?
Oh my God.
We're excited about a lot. We have a lovely panel that we put together that we've got. Our panelists is submitted. So once it's announced live, we'll be talking about what our panelists are. We
Go ahead, Grand Arbiter.
We also did submit our panelists for Con Possible, which is next month, which is very soon, incredibly soon. Time escapes us. But we have some really great panels that we've written for both of these, and all of our submissions to WorldCon have been sent out. We have no idea what will happen to that. The answer could be goose egg, for all we know.
It could.
But we have put together some, at the very minimum, all of our panels could be transformed into panels you might see in the future. So I've written a bunch of content. I've come up with a bunch of ideas. We've come up with some new content games that we're gonna some interactive games that we'll be testing at Con Possible.
Oh, at Worldcon, you mean?
No, we have one we're testing at Con Possible.
Oh, we are. Oh, exciting! I forgot. Sorry, everyone. I knew we put in some exciting new stuff for Worldcon, but I forgot that we were testing some things out at Con Possible too. I am a silly goose.
It's okay. We've got lots of stuff going on. Yes, but we're pretty excited about the coming conventions. We also have it's a little far out, but TUSCon is our like end of year kiss of 2025. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And we have some really exciting stuff coming for that because we get to partner with one of our other favorite creators, Gail Carragher, on some really exciting panels that we've been discussing. So those are the things that we're working on.
I think there's one other thing you're working on, though. Don't you have an awards program in the near future?
I was literally going to be like, as a previous recipient of the Tippy Golden Teacup Awards, how excited are you about the Tippy Golden Awards?
I'm very excited. I did submit my nominations already for many of the particular ones, such as the Macaroni Artist, which is one of my favorite awards, the Dandy Award, which is a gender-neutral dandy. Anybody can be a dandy. As well as the, what is it, the Texture Artist?
The Textile Transformer.
Textile Transformer. Those two in particular, I am very excited for, and I am very pleased with I won't spoil my nominations, but I'm excited to see my nominations get the credit and honor that they so very much deserve.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love for it to be a stiff competition. So if you have a nomination for those, you should definitely get those in.
And I've shared the link in the comments so that you can just go there and nominate.
And that is open until, I think we are leaving it open until, let me look at my Magic Dandy calendar. It will remain open until the 24th. So you have a good solid amount of time to get this on the road. To get
and this is the only steampunk award show currently in existence. So you have been trailblazers in and of yourselves starting this particular program. And sorry, Nissa apparently is upset she wasn't nominated, so she's trying to leave.
You are always an award winner in our hearts.
I didn't nominate her for anything.
Right.
I feel like maybe next year she can be a macaroni artist, but not this year. We haven't worked on any new costumes lately. But being that you are kind of the forefront of that, it's so exciting. And I hope people nominate and participate and vote. I know that the book nominations are from your book club over the year, and people can vote on whatever their favorite read was. So that part is already open.
All of it's open. Everything is open to submit.
Yes, but the book award is something that you directly vote on, whereas with the nominations, we take your nominations, we review them with our Dark Council, and then we make a determination with the help of our Dark Council in order to choose our honorees for the year. And and that is a little bit easier than hosting voting for all of the awards. So, and we like having a Dark Council.
Yeah.
I feel that we do a better job of it in the Academy Awards, frankly.
I think so. I also think part of it is that what these awards represent, as you cleanly posted in your long form, beautiful essay on the value of these awards. The purpose of these awards are not just acclaim, clout, power, but it's also for celebrating our community and what that community has accomplished, and what it's not enough to be a good costumer. It's not enough to be a good stylist. It's not enough to be a great server of tea. it's about it's they are cheek. It's about what they represent for the community, the efforts they've put in to transform their community, and what they do to ensure that like the temporal entourage has interesting things to do. Like,
Yes.
I know for a fact that we have, for the first time, we've introduced a prop making award, which is very exciting. We've got several nominees already that are very exciting prop makers. And really, this is also an opportunity for like, okay, well, I don't know if we want to nominate this year. But as we shift into our Patreon's Corner for today, it may be something you set as a metaphysical goal for the coming year.
Yes, because the awards are an annual event. And so this is a collaboration between the three of us. This was born out of a conversation between the three of us. Whilst the Grand Arbiter and I use our platform to drive this annual event, Eve, you are very much part of the Dark Council and making this happen. And you are part of the inspiration in that initiating conversation we had in 2021 when
many moons ago.
We were reviewing and discussing the Golden Globes and the Met Gala and the Academy Awards, and we had opinions and feelings, and we asked ourselves the most important question: if they can do it, why can't we? So,
Exactly.
here we are.
And I think that another part of this whole thing is we can see how talented the people around us are, and that sometimes that talent's not really recognized because of the dark grip of the algorithm and the let's call it the fickle moon that is the fandom space.
And also there's the imposter syndrome. Sometimes you're not aware of the impact you're making on the community you participate in. And so having people let you know that you are valued and that you're bringing something to the table that people appreciate and feel connected to in some way is validating. It is just another round of compliment dueling, but this time with like a paper award attached to it. Like we all agree that you are worthy and important and we value you here. Please stick around.
It really is compliment dueling, except I'm armed and it's to the death.
Yes.
And Scum Mistress, we would never do cutting commentary on costumes because again, we're complimentary. We would only give high praise.
Yeah, I would not invite Joan Rivers. She's a little mean for my taste.
Also dead.
Also, well, I mean, they said summon from beyond the grave.
That's
so
true.
They were very aware of her death.
But is she meaner than Babushka Askew?
I think the real deal is that as we've learned about Babushka Askew, you just got to give her a job, and she's a lot less mean.
That's true. Oh, that's true.
Very business oriented.
But no, it's honestly, Scon Mistress, as soon as we have a red carpet walk in, we will summon the Dark Council to deliver complimentary commentary about the costumes.
We'll deliver compliment sandwiches and educational feedback.
Yeah, it will be our signature cheeky and vivacious, which is different than vivacious. It's vivacious. I just coined it. It's vervy and it's acious. It's vivacious commentary about people's costumes. So,
but since we cannot physically do it, are we going to metaphysically do it?
Yeah,
there's your segue.
Let's talk about
I tried to open the door once. We were cut off. Madame Askew cut us off at the press.
I know. I'm bringing it back. I'm providing an assisted segue.
Well, we got, distracted by the Tippy Golden Teacup Awards, and we went down that pathway. So, but let's talk about our comments of. No. I'm sorry, Ty. Anyway, let's talk about our topic for this week, courtesy of our wonderful Patreon community. So every week that we're doing a live tea, unless we have a special event during live tea, we have a Patrons Corner topic that our beautiful Patreon community votes on. So this week they chose for us the delightful question of our New Year's metaphysical ambitions. So, my darlings, shall we dive into it?
So I know that for my metaphysical spirit, part of my expectations going into 2025 are going to be taking pleasure from the experiences, even if I find them challenging.
Yes.
Also recognizing that I am a person of deep habit and that I love a schedule.
You too love a schedule. You're very keen. You're very keen.
I think that 2024 was a little bit chaotic in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2025 is going to be more chaotic, so it's going to be finding structure where we can.
Yeah, we had a lot of disruptions in 2024 to our normal systems, and we had to reinvent, recreate, rebuild a lot of things that we did and have been doing for almost a decade in some cases. In other cases, more like 13 years. And so it was really hard to have this kind of disruption to our schedule and our tools and everything. And then of course there was the other bigger disruptions, which we're all aware of, right? But we're not going to dive into tonight.
Yeah, I think that one thing that I've learned from 2024 is that leaning into your skill sets sometimes means accepting that you can't do certain things.
That's true. That's very hard for me, but it's true.
Well, as everyone knows, Madame Askew must get an A+ in everything, including archery, for some reason. So
it's because I look very fetching with a bow. Yeah, thank you.
You look quite charming with a bow. It's true.
I do. I know I'm too short to be an Amazon, but I have Amazon dreams.
I mean, you just really want to be an Irish Scottish princess or something.
Or I want to ride on the shoulders of Amazons.
Or ride a giant direwolf.
Also, that would be fine. I would ride a direwolf. I'm dressed for it and everything. Eve, what is one of your metaphysical ambitions for the coming year?
Yeah. Given I was told the subject right before this, and then we spent the whole time chatting about things that were not about this.
I can go if you want to ponder.
I know. I think for me, this was definitely something in another community I'm in. We talked about setting intentions and making plans, and a lot of mine are more grounded in reality right now. Things like I want to get my paperwork in order for my living will. Like I want to feel like I am prepared for whatever's next. Yes. I think is kind of the goal is I want to be prepared for. I've been trying to be more prepared for emergencies and the unexpected, and I think I want to continue to take the steps I need to be prepared for such things, which is kind of a dour metaphysical solution.
No joke.
But
we have the same conversation. Madame Askew sent me the same conversation last week.
Yes. I have some resources I can share. But I do think that being prepared is one of the things, which is maybe not the most creative intention. I have creative intentions as well, but I think that those are ongoing. Those are all-time intentions to create art and to continue to educate and level up and push my own boundaries in that realm. But I think right now my plan is like, what steps can I take to be ready for whatever's next?
I think that's a really good intention. And I have shared a link for all of you who are part of the Rainbow family out there. This is a really good thing to be thinking about at any time, but it's a good thing to be thinking about in particular right now. Going into 2025 is getting your estate in a position that you feel really protected. And Lady June Squall has had some very very hard and recent experience with this. It's so important, and you never know when you're going to need to have these things in place, so better to make it happen. So anyway, I've shared a link that is to a resource for our LGBTQ family in the comments.
I think there's something in there that's also really valuable, which is just the sense of that constant creation is a necessary part of being alive, and that's a part of the experience. And also I think fighting against that urge about like recognizing that rest is creative in nature, that rest is a part of that artistic process.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the things that I am trying to do is I'm on the creative process and on resting is if I want to be creative, but I am finding myself burnt out on my usual art, is trying something else. This year, last year, a month ago, I learned how to make ornaments. This year, I'm getting back into making Valentine's Day cards, which I haven't done since 2017.
And I love your Valentine's Day cards. They're my favorite.
So thank you. They will be sent out eventually. I've already cut out all of them, and they're all getting sparkles. But like getting into things that I wouldn't normally do and being okay with it not being perfect, as much as I am also the perfectionist type.
No, y'all, if you guys do, y'all need me. You need my vibe of laziness. You need my vibe of like, we need to stop.
Look, I've been shut in all week. I need to do something or else I will go mad.
It's fine. It's fine. You're doing a great job. Madam, what are some of your existential and metaphysical frameworks for 2025?
You know, ever since we proposed this as an option for the conversation today, I've been thinking about what that is. And I really do sort of take a little bit of stock at the end of the year and the turning of the year into the new year. Anyway, I'm not one for resolutions, but I am one for thinking about like a big picture. What would I like my energy to be in the coming year? And I want to get back to some of the fundamental energy of what we started out with as performers and as streamers and doing all of this nonsense that we do, which means for me more guerrilla live streams that are unpolished and unpredictable and just happen when I have the mood and the energy, because I love spending time with everyone. And I really enjoy having the engaged conversation with you, all of you who are here, but also everyone who used to come to Tutorial Tuesdays and to other kinds of like late night sewing and the Stitch and Bitches that we have not done in a while, but we used to do a lot, especially in the first 2 years of COVID being part of our lives. And I have been very dedicated to making our streams more and more polished. And I really believe that having a regular schedule is important. The Grand Arbiter is a creature of schedules. And I like them too. I like for all of you to know when we're doing things. But I love the energy of those just unpredicted nonsense streams where I'd sew and we'd chat and we'd talk about sewing and whatever. They're a very creative space. But we can't do them on Facebook anymore, which is part of why they stopped. So you will find me streaming more often on Twitch, and I hope that you will come and hang out with me when I'm doing my sort of off-the-cuff sewing streams. Right now, I have a little crew of people who are like, we like Tuesday nights for late night sewing. So you can find me late nights on Twitch doing that. It felt so good to get back to that kind of nonsense and just off the cuff discussion about sewing and art and creativity. And it reminded me of a certain kind of joy that sometimes gets lost in my desire to provide a really polished experience to all of you. And I realized you don't ask me to be that polished. I asked it of myself. So I'm going to try and let go of some of that and remember to just lead with joy and to follow my heart, which my heart tells me I just want to spend time with all of you. That said, this is a little bit my request for all of you to go on that journey with me too, because it's a lot more fun when you're there. So please come join me for this nonsense when you can. Yeah,
I think that's something that like we are all. I'm gonna be very off the cuff as we are. We are feeling the shrinkage of. We're seeing the collapse of multiple social medias. One that is our home base, and the consequences of that we're gonna feel for a while. Yeah. Our growth has pretty plateaued for lots of reasons, which is
we're not alone. That's true for many, many artists. Yeah.
And it's also just like there's a certain level of like we are very niche. I would not call us steampunk performers, but it is our home. It is where we're from. And it is where we hang out a lot. We are media analysts. So we're media analysts. We're philosophers. We are creators. We are developers. We do lots of stuff, and I think that it's important that we own that. I know that I am going to be double downing on my strategy for 2024, mid to late 2024, which is going to be putting more energy into recognizing that if I don't put the energy into build relationships, they're not going to happen in terms of friendships and connections. They're just not going to. And I think that that's a really hard thing to hold on to, because I think that it's very easy to feel like you're doing all of the work, because sometimes you are doing all the work, and and we are unappreciated in our time. Like we're gosh darned Van Gogh. This is Van Gogh. This is the sign for Van Gogh.
It's not Van Gogh.
And June, there will be more streams that will be earlier, that will be at other random times. I think it's just going to be when Madame Askew is awake and is turning on her machine. There's no expectation that anyone attend things that they can't or don't want to. It's more of this understanding that, like, if no one comes to things, it won't happen.
They won't happen.
So, like, if you want to, the reality of all of this, and the reality for all conventions and all of our work is, if you don't come to stuff, it won't happen. And we're going to keep out here. We're going to not disappear. We're going to make art. We're going to fight for our space to be filled with people with light and love. But we're not out here chasing the lightning. We're not looking for our big break. Like, would it be nice? Great. Is that a thing that you can chase with any kind of accuracy? That is what I call metaphysical nightmare fuel.
It's true.
And here's the deal. If you want more time to hang out with the person, go to conventions. convince those conventions that we're the coolest people on earth, and then have us come. Like, really, if you are going to be at it, we want to be where you are. We have some really exciting stuff happening this year, and we already actually have some plans for 2026 that are starting to like manifest. But if there's something that you want, you got to be there for it. And that support can be commenting on a post when you see it, or subscribing to our Patreon, even at like $1, just to and like voting on Patreon's Corner is a huge boon. It helps us feel motivated about what we're choosing, and that we're not going to be like, oh gosh, no one wanted to do any of these things, and we're all stupid, and we should just go throw ourselves into a river.
Yeah, I feel there's a lot of free ways to support your artists. You can comment on posts. You can like the post. Like, literally liking it is the bare minimum of saying, I support what you're doing. Commenting on it, sharing it with a friend, sharing it with a convention organizer, obviously, is going to be kind of like the biggest free thing you can do, is being like, hey, have you heard of XYZ? Have you heard of Madame Askew and the Grand Arbiter? You know, I think they would be a really good fit for this vibe that you got going on. Obviously, the biggest support is Patreon, and being able to do that is very helpful, because art costs money.
It does. And to that, we're talking about our Patreon, and our Patreon is incredibly critical. It pays for all the things. It makes all of this happen. It keeps me in a house with the cats. But also, Eve has a Patreon.
I do have a Patreon. It's been not as busy as it has. I think we've been doing Patreon, I think, for 7 or so years now.
Yeah.
You
and started like 2 or 3 months before we started.
Yeah. I was the guinea pig.
You were the guinea pig. Thank you.
And I will say that I already have I do a lot of photo sets. I do a lot of like boudoir and whatnot as kind of my main content when I'm not actively working on like a costume and whatnot. But I will say I have photos set up through April already, with more photo shoots this month, with Hard Times Collective. We've got like a Nosferatu inspired shoot, which hopefully will not get rescheduled due to the snow. We'll see. We're friends. Kayla is
I just feel like it will be more aligned with the Nosferatu stuff, right?
I mean, yes, but if I can't get there, and if the location that we're shooting at doesn't have power, it's very cold.
Yes.
Sounds like, I mean, it's just, you're leaning really hard into the
very hard. I mean, I've got
of dealing with vampires.
This is my Nosferatu.
I like you alive, though, Eve. I do. I like you alive.
I do prefer to be living. And then I do have some delightful design work that I've been working on and various creative projects. So I also share whenever I record videos for my nibbling. So my like most safe for work art ever has been reading picture books and putting them on YouTube for my family back home in California to enjoy. Actually, just I get all my books at my local library. Support your local library. Yeah. So I just read these before this call, and one of them's already on YouTube. But thank you. Yes, I do run a Patreon, and every time somebody comments and likes something on there, I know that I'm doing something that people enjoy, and I always appreciate the feedback. So
honestly, this is true for every artist I know. That creating, there's a lot of time where you're by yourself and you're just doing the thing, and you are in charge, because being an artist means you're your own boss, right? And even if you've got a day gig where somebody else is giving you orders, when it comes to the art, it's you and your art. And it can be really easy to talk yourself into believing it's not enough, it's not that good, you're not that good, all of these things. I speak from personal experience, because I will look at a piece of costuming. I'm very careful. I don't like to put this out there, mostly because I don't want people to think I'm judging them by this metric. It's more of I'm an isolated artist and I suddenly think my work is terrible. That does not mean that I'm judging your work in this harsh light, but it can sound like it. So I kind of keep it very private. But that's true of every artist I know. We look at our own work and we're very critical, or we don't think it's good enough, or we don't think we're doing enough, or what have you. And so, honestly, having those moments when the people who love our work, our community, even just like leaves a little heart on something, it can be the heart that like keeps you going that week or helps you finish the project that night. It's like, oh, Lady June Squirrel likes what we do. It's still good. I still want to do it. As long as Lady June Squirrel likes it, we're good.
I will say, and every time Lady June Squirrel comments on something I post on Patreon, but I get a little glow because I'm so glad it's reaching people and that they are enjoying it. So.
The base metric of our fan base doesn't make Lady June Squirrel smile.
Yes, exactly.
I think that it's something that really, I know that I sort of regularly serve as the the emotional sounding board, and that's sort of my job, which is fine. It's fine. I am the lever in which the world turns, I suppose. But I do think that there is this real. We're gonna see as this next year progresses an aggressive shrink, I think, across the space. Manaskew and I have to talk about it every day. And I say this with all the love in my heart. We have to have a conversation every day. Everything is not about us. We recognize that it's not about us. It's also not about you. There's lots of things that are happening. Your lives are complicated and busy as well. And the algorithm, she giveth and she taketh away, and she mostly taketh away. She is kind of withholding, like not my mother, but someone's mother. My mother is very not withholding. My mother is gives me sloths, so everything's fine.
Like my mother.
The landscape online is going to be shifting, and I think we're going to see a huge shift in how the world interacts with online content. For sure. I know that as a 18 plus artist, typically, I have been under threat for years. I'm not a sex worker, but I am a sexy worker, as Bebe Bardot coined. And I think that's accurate. So while I'm not being directly impacted the same way, there is this kind of sword hanging over all of our heads of everything could be gone and we'd have to start and rebuild somewhere else, which is kind of where we're at with quite a few platforms right now.
It's true. And it's hard. I mean, the three of us collectively have been at this a long time as performers. I think we're the kinds of performers who I like to joke, although if it happens, I will not be sad about it. But I like to joke that I dream of being big in Japan. I feel that tea dueling and compliment dueling would really fit right in.
You need a really good translator, like an absolute,
yes.
They'd need to be the best translator ever born.
That's true, because neither of us speak Japanese, and it's very hard to get good at comedy in a secondary or tertiary language. But
also, you have massive vocabularies.
That's also true, and they're arcane. But we're sort of the kinds of performers who are stalwarts, that we keep on, we're tenacious. And so we continue to perform and to make our art because we're very happy with our beautiful community that has grown with us and been here with us. And we are happy performing in that space. But our ability to do that is really impacted by this shrinking virtual spaces, the shrinking access to certain kinds of social media and the shifts on some of our platforms. I don't want to like live in this place because it is a very
We're gonna move out of that place now.
but it's like there's a lot going on, and so we really need all of you to stay with us the best you can and to engage with our work when you see it.
And also engage it in multiple places. I really recommend it as we move into this new future. The website is a very strong tool that we try to utilize. We will always have control over the website, and it is regularly updated. It currently has many beautiful ghost cat stories coming out every day. It has
they're done for the time being, but there will be more in the future.
And it has what we're up to and things that are happening for us. So like following us other places is going to be really key to ensuring that you have contact with us. Also engaging in our Discord, which is easily the strongest thing that you have to your disposable to engage with this art and this fun gameplay. Your ideas, your contributions to our group are really invaluable, and really your ability to build like a stable community is really based on your ability to be present. So everyone who is part of that community and regularly contributes, I'm not what I would call a lurker, but I sort of emerge every so often to say something sassy and then retreat to my foliage.
But Eve and I are there all the time.
All the time.
So it
and I'm always observing from my panopticon.
That's correct. Opposite. You are. But Eve, this is not just the home for the Grand Arbiter and I. You can find out about the things Eve is doing there too and engage with Eve and other members of the broader steampunk community. We call it the Steampunk Community Server because we want it to be a space where
we want it to serve the community.
Yes. But also we want you to come and engage with our art too. You can do both. You can do both.
So I'm going to shift the conversation.
Yes, Grand Arbiter.
Outside of our artistic endeavors, what is some dumb thing that you really want to improve, do, or enjoy? Consume, do, enjoy in the coming year?
I am pretty excited about the year of the dinosaur. So I have to admit, we did Year of the Tartan last year, and I did not feel that we got enough plaid action. I needed more checks. I needed more tartan. I needed more of it. And I understand why there was not more. We went in some different directions. But this year, I want to revel in dinosaurs. And I'm just going to probably reread the wonderful Dinosaur Shifter books by Maz Maddox. And I don't know if Dinosaur Tartan exists.
I was thinking we make like a dino hoodie out of tartan. I was actually thinking about this while you were saying that. I was like, maybe I can talk to Velvet Outlaw, who made my amazing chaps, and see if she would make a plaid dino onesie, because she loves unhinged concepts.
Yes.
I mean, a plaid dinosaur, a tartan dinosaur, a tartan Rex.
Or a T-Rex wearing tartan, like wearing a kilt.
Yeah.
There are options.
There's so many options.
So many.
So
Eve,
that is very work related though. So please
it's real work related.
All right. I've got one that's not, well, I mean, okay, this isn't really work related. I plan to read more books than I do doom scrolling. So every time I feel inspired to just sit and doom scroll, I'm going to turn it off and read a book. Yesterday, I finished our book club book, and then I read a Murderbot book Those are very short, they're novellas, so they're like a fairly quick read in a day without losing a whole day. But rather than like doom scroll, I read Murderbot, and it was good for me, and there will be more of that. Also, respectfully, if you're not reading Martha Wells, treat yourself. She's an amazing writer, and she wrote a lot before the Murderbot books, and I've loved her for a long time, so you should read her back catalog too. So good.
Nice.
Yeah, so more books.
More books.
Eve Riot.
My dumb quote unquote resolution is to find a method to remember to take my calcium every day because I am not good at taking that every morning. And I know as an AFAB person of a certain age who's used specifically certain forms of birth control that I need it. And I am not good at taking it. So that is my like, it's not funny, but it's fun.
I mean, you know, you're a very pragmatic
person. I guess the fun thing is I'm also picking French back up. And so I've downloaded the OWL app, and I also have several humans here in Louisville who speak French, and so I enjoy getting to practice with them.
And I use a cute little app to remind me to take my gay pills every day.
Ooh, excellent.
Oh, and I added B12 to my repertoire to reduce my risk of canker sores. That was
nice.
It's been pretty successful so far.
Yeah, what's really funny or silly or small?
Oh, I am. It's the same as last year, but I'm doubling down. I am going to become even more enmeshed in magic. I have become full-on obsessed. I am planning on trying to make more statistical analysis of my experiences. And so like recording my games more, trying to have more conversations with people, playing with people online, just really leaning hard into my full-on obsession and like letting the madness take me. Just letting it go.
Not to like circle back to social media, but I do enjoy your magic card of the day posts. As somebody who doesn't play Magic, I just enjoy that you share your thoughts in the artwork. And also, I'm just giggling because I'm like, oh, do you want to come play Sophie again in Louisville? And add that to your... Because I remember that game was quite contentious.
I mean, it was contentious in the sense that I almost... even though she was about to combo off and go infinite. So I did very well at that game. That game was contentious because I was the hero that was felled by the villain. Like that is what you want out of a Magic game. You want a narrative. And that is I think that people don't like. I think about the philosophy of Magic a lot, and I think I'm probably going to talk about it some in some videos in the future for fun. I'm trying to like make content for the sake of having it exist rather than having it be consumed. It's why I'm doing my little magic rambles on TikTok. I'm going to be sad that I'm not going to have that because TikTok's a really easy platform to use. So assuming that we lose it, I'm going to be bummed that I don't have this like very easy platform to use, but I'll just start using Instagram. It's fine. I'll live. YouTube. What? I can also use YouTube, but
yes.
These are the things that we currently have.
Yes. I think that's delightful. Yes. Lean into the hyperfixation is TM.
Yes.
And I think this TM is like all of ours. This to lean into the things we enjoy and love with abandon. It's really easy to get very focused on, you know, making everything just so, and deadlines and production and like achieving and pushing and all of that. But sometimes you just want to like revel in what you love.
The hedonism.
Yes. And you're pro hedonism.
I am very pro hedonism. Hedonism is my preferred method of life.
But I have to say that whilst we've talked about like work related and fun related. You both brought up your vitamins, and I'm always encouraging everyone to get their vitamins and minerals. And I have to make a confession. If I don't get it out of food, I haven't been getting it. And so now I'm like, oh, maybe I should start taking some calcium.
I struggle with taking the. I know we're like kind of coming up in our.
No, we've got time. I mean, Lord Ashley.
But my preferred hack is the gummy vitamins, because I don't like taking regular pills is not very fun. But if it's a cute little gummy bear that tastes like fruit syrup, heck, I'll remember to take that. The problem is there's not really good calcium ones.
So I have the opposite solution. So I'm incredibly forgetful. So I don't know if I took it or not. So the things I take are a little bit foul tasting, like the B12.
So you don't want to experience it again.
Not that I don't want to experience it again, but I remember, oh yeah, I put that horrible thing in my mouth this morning.
Yes. Also, I have all of my vitamins and fiber and whatnot. I have it now next to my tea kettle, so that when I go to turn on the tea kettle to make tea, I get all my pills out and put it next to the tea cup, so that way I remember to take them all.
That's really good.
I think it's very indicative that we're all like, ooh, how do we take our vitamins and medications? We are old bitches now. We are ancient. We are crones.
Look, you know, for Crohn's, I think we're all looking very
for Crohn's. But yeah, no, I'm really proud of the work that we do, and I'm proud of the work that I've done in my community to try to build relationships and friendships and connections. Friendships are super hard. They really are. And I think post-COVID, I think that the skill sets for being friends have atrophied in some ways that, like, we haven't had that same problem. And part of that reason is because we're here doing the practice every day. Like every Friday on the dot, we're here to do the friendship.
Yes, that's our new tagline for Friday Teas. Let's do the friendship. Maybe it is our new tag for Friday Teas.
I feel like it might have some innuendos, but when would we avoid an innuendo?
Almost never.
Do friendship.
Ah,
do friendship.
Do friendship.
And with that,
that was very off color. Wonderful end to this.
I think we're very silly. We will be with you next week. We will be providing the Patreon. Patreon corners will show up about Wednesday or Thursday, as it normally does. If not earlier, ideally it comes earlier, but we, whatever.
I'm writing a very massive end of year review for Patreon. It's already at 1,000 words, and I'm only
if you really want to know why is Patreon not have more content on it, first of all, you're crazy. We make more content than most. Madame Askew is prolific, absolutely insane for Patreon level.
Feel prolific at all.
Okay, but remember, comparison is the thief of joy. Do not.
Okay.
You are prolific.
Okay.
You create a lot of content, both on Patreon and off.
Okay, thank you.
And the folks that do one thing a month, they're busy doing that one big thing. You do lots of little important bits and then write entire diatribes that are thousands of words long. One of the best writers and reviewers I know, I would not want to be a book that you actually despised, that you felt so moved to write a bad review. You're too talented. You're too talented.
I feel like that's a writing exercise. Create a fictional book review of a book you hate.
Oh. Maybe I'll make up a book to hate, because
I know you don't want to actually hurt an author. So that's why you need to make up a book.
Yes, that is a note. I know we're wrapping up, but if you're ever like, well, I never see bad reviews from Madame Askew, that's because I generally don't write about things I didn't like. And if I do, I absolutely I move to a fiery passion. Just because I haven't reviewed something doesn't mean I didn't like it. But if I don't like it, I will never review it. So, except if there's
So take that for what it means.
Yes.
Also, Robert.
The point that I'm trying to make is, hello, Robert.
Hello.
The point that I'm trying to make is that Madame Askew works harder than the best because she is the best. And everyone should appreciate all of her hard work on our Patreon because it's not me. I am very lazy. I work in my salt mine. We all know about the salt mine that I go to run regular and turn the crank at the machine that keeps the world spinning. But Madame Askew, we were talking about this recently. If we're a car, I'm like the very robust body of the car. I keep it. I hold everything together. But Madame Askew is the engine. She drives us forward. She has belief in the future, has deep optimism, and has ambition to create art. And that ambition drives not just me, but I know it drives Eve as well.
I feel like in this analogy, I'm the spare tire.
Ooh, no. In this analogy, you're like the chrome tail things.
And the customizations to the body.
Yeah.
Eve is the beautiful chrome like Jaguar on the hood of the car.
I was thinking like I come in when truly needed. I'm always there.
You're always
there.
Yeah,
that's true. But you're more than just
with
tired.
Care.
You're too beautiful to hide inside. You're like a spare tire that sits on the outside that has the Mona Lisa on it.
There you go.
Wait, what is that stuff they use in the Fast and the Furious to make the engines go really big?
Nitro?
Yeah,
I've never watched a Fast and Furious movie.
Oh no. Listen, I know this is ridiculous, but I love those ridiculous movies and I have watched all of them.
I always love a third leg. And with
We're
that,
a tripod.
We will see you next week. Feel free to reach out to us on the Patreon or on the Discord. If you're like suddenly fiending to know more about my magic takes, you just ask me. I'll be there because I am here to talk about it. Or if you want to hear about calcium regimens, Eve Riot is here to talk to you about the importance of calcium. And Madame Askew is here to talk to you about the challenges of being a deeply talented person with crippling anxiety.
Oh, that's true.
There's your calling.
Yes.
Madame Askew, I've come up with my own send-off, so you should do yours because I want to share mine.
All right, excellent. Please remember to treasure yourselves as we treasure you. So stay hydrated, wash your hands, wear a mask if you need to. Get your vitamins and minerals, especially your calcium and B12. And remember that you are irreplaceable. And if you do not take care of yourselves, I must haunt you like a deranged cat.
And with that, it's not goodbye. It's see you later. Bye, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Cheers.